Okay, so I'm Helen, yeah, and I'm not a techie person, so this won't kind of hopefully have too much jargon in it. And I approach this from I'm a PR person, so I like words and things. I'm not really into code and that kind of stuff. But what I do love about social media is the way that it's allowed me to use our words and our thoughts as an organisation in Monmouthshire and get across to people in a really human way. So what I felt about the way that we kind of communicated as a council was when I started working there, it was very, we're telling you this and we are very respectable and you must listen to it. And I tried to kind of take it down to talk how I talk to people, and there's no harm in being a bit more casual if it helps with understanding. So I'm Helen Reynolds, and that's our Twitter feed for the Monmouthshire Council account is Monmouthshire CC. I thought I'd add that because it's nice to get a few followers and a few new faces. But I run that. It's a one-man band, the Twitter account. It's easier for me to just do it full-time, but we've got lots of different accounts, Facebook, lots of social media accounts across the council that have teams doing them, and they work really well. So my feeling, my mission in work really around what I do with social media is to try and remove people's fear around it. So immediately when I start talking to someone who's kind of got a vague interest is, oh my God, it's too scary, I don't want to touch it. So a lot of what I do is try and calm people down and just say, don't worry about it, you're good at your job. So you'll be good at this if you choose to do it as well. Initially, where I started with social media was kind of recognising that it's much easier to go where people already go and talk to them there than expect them to come to our website and expect them to come to a meeting or go out of their way to find something that they might not know that they want. So the idea was that we would go where people are and give them bits of information that we think would be relevant to them, and then actually listen to what they said. And if they said that's not what we want, well, that's really interesting. We didn't know that before. What I was going to talk about today is in January 2011 we gave every member of our staff in Monmouthshire Council access to social media, which was kind of a bit different for any organisation, never mind a council at the time. Yeah. It came about after kind of a couple of years of having various conversations with people in different departments and getting lots of, yeah, no, but what if this, what if that, and constant kind of lots of reasons why we shouldn't do it. And then a kind of a 10-minute conversation with the chief exec at the time was like, yeah, of course you can do it, it's a brilliant idea. We want people to professionally develop and to use the tools that are out there. So this was very much about communicating with people rather than communications as a PR kind of thing. It was about freeing people to talk to people in an adult way, really, as members of staff. So some of the questions that I would get, I mean, I still get them now around how has that gone for you? Because I'll always answer with, well, the world didn't end. It's fine. We haven't broken down as an organisation and been chucked out of Wales. We're okay. So we'll get this kind of thing. Oh, IT said this to me a long time back before this all happened. What if everyone goes on YouTube and the whole thing's down and all of our systems crack? Well, that hasn't happened, and why would it happen? People are doing their jobs. They're not all going to rush to one particular link and overburden the systems in one go. So that's an easy one. Well, it's not going to happen, basically. Another thing is this kind of thing, well, what if councillors start swearing or giving out sensitive data? We're a council, we've got all this kind of information that we can't give. Well, no one's forcing you to put it out there. And actually, we're trusted as members of staff to know our thing. I know what I can't say. I know what I can't say to you in this audience, and when I go down the pub, what shouldn't be given away. Why would social media be different? I know those kind of things. I know how to behave, and particularly with councillors, they have a code of conduct, and so do we as staff, and that's just general stuff. Just because this is social doesn't mean that the same rules don't apply. So when we were thinking about kind of freeing this all up, this is kind of a small version of our approach to it, really. We knew something positive would happen because we were actually making an effort to talk and to tell people about the stuff that we do, and a lot of the bad feeling around government can be around not understanding why we do what we do or even what we do. Another one is everyone going to be sitting around on Facebook all day? Have you got data that tells you exactly how many time, how long in the day people have been spending on Facebook? Well, no, because they're trusted to do it. We work agilely, so I don't have a desk. I just turn up with my laptop and my phone and I get on with my work. I can do that at home, I can do it in a cafe, whatever. So really, is my manager going to be saying, oh, well, you're on Facebook all day? I'm not even in front of him anymore. So he has to recognise that if I'm doing my job, it doesn't make any difference if I'm on Facebook during some of that day as well, and especially if we're using it to communicate with the public. So this is kind of the approach that we take on it. If you're, how do you know they're working? Well, why would you employ someone if you thought that they're going to sit there doing naff all day? You just wouldn't. What if it's not worth the hassle at all? How have you got the time to do this? As if there's some insinuation of you must be a loser for being able to do this. Well, actually, it's worth it. A lot of the stuff that we do can be time-saving. Engagement, by the way, is never a hassle. It should be worth doing in itself. And kind of getting back to this thing of we don't want to do this thing of one person telling everyone what they think. We want it to be this kind of more networked approach and be one person in a community, in a conversation. Do people really want to talk to the council? Yes, they do. An example of this is a Yammer group that I set up more than a year ago. Our foster carers wanted information from the council, but they also, as a sideline, they kind of as a side issue, said we want to talk to each other as well, and they used to meet every 6 months in one place, and they didn't know each other that well, they didn't contact each other much in between. So we set up this group, which is a kind of a closed down community, a bit like Facebook, but just for those foster carers to see. Also, we had the director of our social services in there, officers, relevant officers from the council who are interested in being part of it. Those foster carers absolutely love it, and as a consequence they can meet each other for picnics, they share practice around little things like my child's been sleepwalking at night, anyone experienced this, any tips on it. This kind of stuff is invaluable for them because they don't get to share this stuff in other ways. So is it, do people want to talk to the council? Yes, they do. They want bits and bobs of information, and they also want to talk to each other about those things and get value from that as well. We've also got a Facebook youth service group that I think is really successful because it's run by a 20-year-old youth service guy. He knows how to talk to these kids in a way that I don't. I've got no idea, the lingo that they use. But he's very authentic, and what he's done is captured every single member, every youth that he's working with is on here except for 2. So he knows the 2 people who aren't there. He can do his ticketing for their proms through Facebook with a little PayPal link. So when you go into your prom and in your dress, you get ID'd by looking at your profile picture on Facebook. He hasn't had to spend money on ticketing, on admin. It's all done for him. He finds that really easy. And the main thing is that the kids are more informed about what's going on, and they've got that very direct link. So I could go on, but there are a few examples of why I think it's great that you open up social media to staff, because you don't know where the talent is half the time. It's not until you give people the opportunity to get into it that you'll find that actually these people are brilliant at connecting people together. And that's it.